Well, on that note, let's take you live then to our reporter, Tshegohaco Moagi, who's live for us on this very story today. And, of course, it comes at the back of that bombshell, as we've told you, dropped in court earlier on today, that would also result in a witness being called to testify that it was Kelly Khumalo who accidentally shot Senzo Meyiwa. That's part of the details that have been put before the court. Tshegohaco, of course, when we look at where this case is right now, what is contested is what happened on the night of that shooting inside the house where you are stationed outside of tonight, and including the involvement of even neighbors that may be crucial to this case.
Absolutely, Cassie, that is indeed true. You know, the issue around what exactly took place right outside or inside this house that we are standing outside this evening, that is the main issue that has been raised by the advocates and the defense advocates that are representing accused 1 to 5. So including Advocate Zandile Mshololo, who today started her cross-examination, and she herself has actually questioned various things that took place and what Sergeant Thabo Mosia actually did when he arrived at this crime scene. The issue, of course, that Advocate Malesela Teffo has also spoken about is the distances between the various places and where exactly Sergeant Thabo Mosia went to before coming to this house. We understand that he got the call. Initially, he had said that he got the call. He was requested to then go to the police to come to this crime scene, and then he then reneged on that, Kathy, and saying that he got the call, was told to go to the hospital where Senzo Meyiwa was, and then he decided to go past the police station. Just a quick calculation, Kathy, from this house to the Vosloorus police station, it's about 5.2 kilometers. From this house to the Butsilong hospital, it's about 5.8 kilometers. So that's about a 10-minute drive or so approximately, but that's a 400-meter distance between the two places. That's how close they really are to each other. So the question has always been, what time did he arrive at this particular house on that fateful night or the early morning of the 27th of October 2014? And he has said that he got here at 20 past midnight after receiving a call from Brigadier Ndlovu at about 1:45 So this is the house indeed, Kathy, that you are seeing behind me. I'm just going to move out of shot. This is definitely the house that you are seeing behind me. We do understand. We had a very brief conversation with some neighbors. We understand that there are people that live here, not the Khumalo family at all. We are told that this home is either been bought or has now been rented. We do not know the exact details at the moment. These are, of course, neighbors giving us these details. But another issue that was then raised when we asked one of the neighbors about, could they possibly just speak to us about what they remember about that night of the 26th of October 2014 when Senzo Meyiwa was shot and killed right here. His car was parked in this very driveway, Kathy, and the one neighbor that we spoke to saying to us that they are actually tired of speaking about the same issue over and over again. So they have really just requested that, we do not ask them any more questions around this matter. They have spoken various times about what took place on that night, and they are actually saying that they are now tired to talk about the same issue, to talk about what took place on the 26th of October. But indeed, the question around what happened still lingers in the courts about what took place on that evening. As you mentioned, Kathy, in the intro, we heard from Advocate Malesela Teffo today dropping that bombshell that Kelly Khumalo accidentally shot Senzo Meyiwa with a gun that apparently was brought in to the house by Longwe Twala. And you'd remember that there are about 7 people that have now been brought on another docket that had been opened that is investigating the contamination or the possible contamination of the crime scene. And in those names include Kelly Khumalo, her sister Zandile, also includes the mother of Kelly Khumalo who was in the house at the time. And then it also includes the friends of Senzo Meyiwa, but Longwe Twala's name is also there. And that also includes a lady by the name of Maggie Piri, who we understand actually came to the house and allegedly cleaned the crime scene. So that is the information that we have within the courts at the moment. But the issue around what time Sergeant Thabo Mosia arrived here as the first forensic expert is something that is still being hashed out, and also what he actually did when he arrived here. Today, Advocate Zandile Mshololo also digging a few holes in Sergeant Mosia's testimony and speaking around the issue around contamination of the crime scene. But she also raised the issue of what exactly did he do when he arrived? Did he just wait for the task team? We heard today that he took just 8 photos of the crime scene, something that Advocate Malesela says is problematic, because what happened to the rest of the crime scene? She's also spoken around the issue of why did she wait specifically for the task team, the criminal task team, to arrive here. And he has said then in his testimony that while he came here, he did what he could, and then he waited for the task team, and when he came back, there was more evidence that was then picked up, something that Advocate Malesela, representing number 5, has said it is quite problematic, because what if something was planted while he was away, or what if door handles were touched by the people that were in the house at the time? So this house behind us, and the neighbors have also said to us that, you know, they are reluctant to really have conversations on camera about what took place on that night. It is 8 years ago, and they are just hoping that one day it will be concluded and get to the finalization of what really took place in this house behind us here in Vosloorus.
Tshegohaco Moagi, let's leave it there for tonight. And as you see there at the bottom of your screen, we will bring you a special coverage that's special on the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial tonight from 11 p.m. until the early hours of the morning.